Okay, I just want to give you guys a quick update. It's late. I need to go to bed, but I want to make sure that you have something brief that you can come in and look at pretty quickly to get an idea of what's going on. Really, the fact is I don't really have any new information. Mike is at Central City Prison in Raleigh, North Carolina. He's in the hole. He's in solitary confinement. They're calling it quarantine because that's what they do for the first 14 days when people come in there, apparently. But it's solitary confinement. He's by himself. He is not allowed to make phone calls or receive phone calls. I can't visit him. And as far as I know, nobody from outside the prison system has talked to him since he talked to me right around noon on the 6th. So I don't truly know his condition. I don't even know if he's actually really there. I'm just going off of what his captors are telling me. I called them today. They said that he's fine and he's talking. So talking is good, if that's true. I called tonight again to check on him, and they won't tell me how he is because they told me to talk to his case manager, and she doesn't come until Monday. Not being able to check on him for 2 whole days is unacceptable. So we're going to keep checking on him. We're going to keep calling in. We're going to keep being polite. We can be polite and concerned. We can continue to tell people we want him to be released. And, if we understand that maybe that's not in their power, but they can talk to somebody who perhaps has more power than they do, or they can transfer us to somebody else. But to continue to talk to people and make sure they're aware that he has committed no crime. He has been convicted of no crime, and yet he is sitting in solitary confinement in the state prison. And I'm calling it solitary confinement because he's alone. He's isolated. For 14 days, they tell me, no phone calls in or out. This is unacceptable. They say they do this to everyone who enters that prison, which is a problem anyway. This is an 8th Amendment violation. This is cruel and unusual punishment. This is torture, people. 14 days. Imagine how scary it would be anyway, just anyway, to be put in a prison, right? Then you're put there for 14 days alone with no one to talk to except for the guards and the nurse and maybe the chaplain if you ask them to come in. And I guess your lawyer if they actually visit. But you can't make phone calls. You can't tell your family where you are, how you're doing, what's going on. You can't find out where they are, how they're doing, or what's going on. You're by yourself. This is unacceptable. And we can potentially raise awareness and help a lot of people right now. So we're continuing to call. We're checking on Mike. We put together a letter tonight. It's like a document so that you can. There's going to be a link in the description. Don't miss the link. You want to know how you can help. I tried to summarize it and put a whole bunch of ideas in here that you guys can work on with me. Because the more voices that are raised, the louder we get, the more people hear, right? And the more effect we can have and the more change we can make. So let's get on this, guys. You guys are doing amazing. I hear we're getting traction with the Institute for Justice, that they actually have heard of the situation, that they're aware of it. They just need more people to ask them to step in. I don't know how it works or why it works this way. But when you message them, because there's a link, if you click the link in the description, this information is in the file, in the document. So be sure you click the link in the description, look at the document. It starts out simple. It starts out with, you can use hashtags, and it seems silly, but why the heck not? It's free, it's simple, it's quick. We can use the hashtag Free Blind Justice. We can use the hashtag Justice for Blind Justice. And somebody suggested the hashtag Free the Blind Dude. Why the heck not? So use the hashtags. We have a petition you can sign and share. Do I know what it will do? I don't know what it will do. But imagine if we get 10,000, a million signatures on this thing, which we can do. There are enough of us with our networks to spread this around. We can do that, guys. I put in a possible Twitter-friendly tweet, like a little mini version trying to get people's attention with this. It includes my email address so that people can contact me, because clearly it's a snippet. You can only put so much attention to try, so many words here, right? So trying to get attention there. I put the link for the Institute of Justice contact page. So if you click the link, it's going to ask you for your information. It just asks for, I think, a name and an email address. And then it has a place that you can put what you're messaging about. I put a little form letter thing. You can use it or don't use it. It's fine. Just be sure you mention blind justice and that you want him released, that we need help for blind justice, okay? And to contact me at insightisfree@gmail.com. I put a letter. It's a little bit longer. It includes a bit more information that you can mail, email to people. You can Facebook message it. Those allow for longer letters. Clearly, again, it's not the full story, but you can definitely share that. There's also a mailing address. When I called the prison and asked them how I can communicate with my husband, they had the audacity to tell me to send him a letter. And I told them he's a blind man. He can't read the letters because you guys took away his assistive devices and aren't allowing him access to them. So what's the plan here? And they said that they would read it to him. So we can send him letters, and maybe as a way, because letters take just a few days, right? They take less time than 14 days. So the faster we can get letters there to him to let him know that we are looking out for him. We know where he is, or at least think we do, that we're still here. Someone suggested adding tracking information to the letter when you mail it, so that it will track that you sent it and that they received it. So if he doesn't get them, we have documentation. And that's another way that they'd be breaking the law. If you want to make phone calls, you probably want to wait till Monday unless you like leaving voicemails. We've got some email addresses and phone numbers down here you can access. So we've got stuff in Madison because they're not off the hook. They think you can send them to the state prison and we'll forget about what they did and their part in this. And I have not forgotten. We've got numbers for Rockingham County. Again, you can't just pawn them off somewhere and think we've forgotten. They're telling me they send them to the state prison because they didn't have the means necessary to take care of him properly. And I say, then why the hell did you kidnap him? Why did you take him into captivity if you're not equipped to take care of him? If you wanted him arrested, they could have just put him under house arrest. An important point that the lawyer pointed out, I'm going to try to keep this under 10 minutes, so I have 2 minutes left. An important point that the lawyer pointed out and brought up to the judge is that for a failure to appear warrant, you can't keep someone longer than you would keep them if they had been found guilty for the thing that they were supposed to appear for. In Mike's case, it was a misdemeanor. It was a class 2 misdemeanor, and he has no priors, which I've been told means that there is no jail time for that. So by that measure, they can't keep him. They have to let him go. They haven't. They can't. They have to. Clearly, when you say they can't keep them, they can. They can, and they are, but it's illegal. I've got a phone number for Central Prison. That's where he's being held. I put a few talking points for different places, depending on who you call. Clearly, you're not going to talk about the judge necessarily at the prison. That's crisscrossed. That's not going to help you. But there's information about a remonstrance that we sent to the North Carolina General Assembly if you want to call and contact them. That is a motion to impeach this criminal judge. Currently, only Chris Freeman is on there. That's what Mike put together. So we have not put Grogan on there. Clearly, Judge Grogan is the one who issued the failure to appear warrant and then upheld it on the first appearance. There's a couple links to some networks. There's a call flood network you can join, and there's the Blind Justice Facebook group that you can. It's private, so you have to request to join, and I'm having trouble trying to figure out how to vet people on that, but I'm trying to figure it out. All right. So it's important to remember what is happening here. Mike was stopped on the steps of the courthouse because he was trying to gain equal access to the courts with his visual aids. And he was denied entry because he's a blind man who uses electronic devices as his visual aids. This is clear discrimination against a blind disabled person. And this cannot stand. We cannot stand for this, people. Keep stepping up. Keep letting your voice be heard. The more people speak, the louder it gets, and the more people will hear this. And we will make change, guys. We're going to do it. We'll get Mike out. Hey, thanks for the support. Thanks for watching. This is weird talking when there's nobody in the chat. So I look forward to chatting with you guys later. We had a good time tonight. We had a whack-a-mole session, whack-a-troll, where we just timed people out so that we could have some pleasant conversation without all the drama. But we'll be back to regular chat rules later. Regular chat rules are no spamming, no calls for violence, and no doxing. All right, guys. Have a good night or good morning or good whatever it is now. And Deo Presto Liber.